Eric.
Mike. Mike.
Eric, I'm here.
Where you
Eric,
at, bro?
Eric, I'm here. Where you at?
I'm right here.
What's up, everyone?
What's up,
Welcome to the
dude?
Contagion Effect, where Mike has disappeared. Eric is here, live and direct, back in the studio. First off, let me set the tone. I don't know why my screen's flashing, but I am off camera because I have a pinched nerve in my neck and I can't sit up straight because it's driving me crazy. So welcome, everyone. Tonto, boom, you did it.
Boom, got it. Ooh, that was a close.
Hey, Brian,
1, 2, and 3.
Brian Roof.
Let's go!
Brian Roof.
Dude.
Lots of great stories already. Eric's been shot out of a cannon today, so lots of great story. Mark, lots of great stories again.
Mark,
the shirt. Hey, Mark, look at Eric's shirt. Look at the green.
Dude.
It's disappearing onto the green screen.
It's the worst nightmare, bro. it's like, I don't want to use the flag, but we use the flag, but that's what. Let's go, dude. Andrea, Mark, John, amazing, dude. I love you guys. I appreciate what you guys do. So much to talk about, but I'll let you go, Mikey. I'll let you continue.
It's all good. We'll get there. We'll get there. There's plenty of time for it.
For sure.
Yes, Brian, I will, as I kind of joined the show yesterday that you guys were all doing, I am a little jealous of everything, but I ended up having a lot to do over the weekend. So
it's so weird not having you there.
I know it is. It's well, and seeing the do you see the flash?
Yeah, you got some flickering.
Yeah, and the camera's completely off. I don't understand. So,
JD, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you guys jumping on.
And Steiner, what's up, Steiner?
Mayor of Hero Stock. What is up, dude?
So we cannot go very far without obviously talking about the elephant in the room. And that's not me or you.
Man.
Can't wait to touch Mike's beard. No.
Yeah. Jason 316 and that. There's so many nicks, bro.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So you don't have a lot of time.
I don't. But
abbreviated version.
Listen, hands down, Mark had the best shirt because it was that black and green. It was that WP3 green, right? I'm literally officially calling it the WP3 green. Swirl of vision, like, dude, the dopest shirt that was probably there. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a Contagion Effect shirt there. There was one, Nana Penny. Props to Nana Penny too, by the way. Super Trooper. Everyone loves Nana Penny. She had a great time. She loves everyone. So much fun. It was dope.
That's awesome that she got to join you.
I don't even, I hate that. Oh, I don't know where to begin. Amazing time.
You're a professional podcaster. You should know where to begin.
It was an amazing time. The pre-party is always, I would say it like this, is funner because funner because it's that intimate setting. It was for Joe Allen, Christy, who's going to be on October 26th, Taylor Olam,
who's already
Barbara
been on.
Sims, who's coming up. And sorry, Barbara, I know you're like the 8th or 6th. I think it's in November. That's a reschedule. And then obviously Scott Hastings or Tom, we can't figure it out yet, So there's the joke too, is Tom got hit up by like 3 kids, like all through the night.
But isn't Scotty like 6'4"?
Dude, they're both like 6'4".
Oh,
bro.
Tom's 6'4"?
They're both.
I didn't know that.
Dudes. I'm like, yeah, I'm on my tiptoes just when I met. I'm like, hey, what's up?
Well,
dude?
I saw the original group of like you, Brian, Jason, Derek. We're all the same height.
Yeah.
In that picture, but I didn't see like when Scotty and Tom. There was no picture because they look like they're always kind of bending down. So
yeah. No, it was amazingly awesome. But dude, Mark's like 6'5", dude.
Yeah.
Like Mark towers over it. I'm like, yeah, this
is Mark's a small guy.
Yeah, I'm bringing my big shoes next time, dude. I'm bringing my 4-inch lift. Screw it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely. And then, and I hate to call him out like this, but Rick Yee, bro, I'll tell you what, he's solid. He's like one of them freaking Australian kangaroos, bro. He was like, just like stormtrooper, like. Yeah, it was amazing.
I don't know.
Had a time. It was awesome. Again, Jason did a fabulous job. I know he's got his board. And he's going to shout out his board like he always does. Scott, what's up, Scott? Appreciate you coming in. They did a great job.
Thank you for the shirt, Scott. I appreciate that.
There was something,
it just got delivered to me.
Yeah, hand delivered, right? I didn't even wear it, but hand delivered. There's so much to go over, right? We could have done a show on that, but I didn't want to miss our guest. And when she confirmed, I'm like, yeah, dude, like it's done. So next year, the week before, September 13th and 14th, and the week after will be dedicated to Hero Stock. So we're just going to do the month of September will be dedicated to Hero Stock. Go support your veterans. I personally don't care where you do it. Just go support your veterans because they need it. They will say they don't want it, but they need it, right? It's hard for some veterans to be, hey, I need help. Go knock on a door. Like, you know where your dudes are. You know where your girls are. Go knock on a door. Make sure they're okay.
Well, and if you know of more events like this, man, like let us know about it.
Because I'm gonna be a frequent flyer to Nebraska, bro. There's like 2 more in Nebraska. I don't know how that's gonna go down, but yeah,
there it is. The Ruck It Up King. Scott is the Ruck It Up King. So
yeah, it's
all right.
It's fun.
Let's get a little Gary going.
Gary,
do you dread having to do your taxes? Does the mere thought of it make your head spin? Miller's Mobile Tax Service is here for you. We will handle your individual or business taxes. We will come to you to prepare your taxes. We are skilled, professional, and ready to get started for you. Call 209-678-8515. As the chat's going crazy all of a sudden.
That is dope. STD. What's going on, Joey? Congratulations. Want to know, dude. Want to know. Go Brownies. Stay with the little fairy.
They killed him.
Stay with the little fairy.
They killed him.
He needs to be on more shows. I'll definitely tell you that much.
Taylor checking in.
Taylor,
what's up, Taylor?
Appreciate you coming hanging out on Thursday night. Tell Jordan what up. Her daughter Jordan was there giving me the details and all that stuff. They do have tornadoes that go through there, and the best bread or some shit was across the street. It was cool. Shout out to Nebraska Brewing. Cool place.
Until they kick you out. No, and they didn't kick you out.
Well, it was a misunderstanding the way that he was cleaning up, and then I go in the other room and they were still there, and I'm like, at this point, dude, I'm like, we're good.
Hey, we got most of the show done. It was good.
And amazing hospitality. Jesse with Wheels for Warriors. I know I'm screwing that up. Wheels for Warriors. Jesse, thank you.
There's Gary.
Thank you for setting up the pre-party house, and it was great. The food was great. You guys did a fabulous job.
Well, most of the breweries close around like 9 or 10, right?
Yeah, and again, like I said, if I would have checked in with the new dudes that were coming in, so
yeah,
2 a.m. But you guys had football on too, so that's why I was kind of like, oh, we're good. But yeah. Speaking of football in Nebraska, by the way, go Big Red. Go Big Red. Go Big Red.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean.
No, they love their football, bro. Like we love football, right? You know, we love football.
They had a rough weekend.
I'm not even regardless of what the score was, they are loyal. They are loyal, but listen, Sims needs to be pulled. They need the other dude in there. Okay, turnover machine. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna listen to Scott because I see Scott talking about Big Red all the time. So I'm not gonna listen to you about Nebraska. I'm gonna listen to hear about some Huskers. I gotta listen to Scott.
Yeah. And Mark, who gave him that first loss? Right? But no, I'm just talking the compassion and all of the
hey, my team's scoring 56 points a week at least.
Yeah. Well, all I know is super fun. Get your ass out 13th and 14th September next year. Yes, I am pimping you already. Hero stock. Already. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next year, I'll make sure I have a different job and more open.
Well, I mean, it was fun enough, but I do want to say that we are coming into the holiday season.
Okay.
And being that we have teamed up with Wreath Across America Radio.
No,
they're a proud sponsor.
We'll wait.
Well, they're the proud sponsor of Wreath Across America.
Oh, that's right.
And that's coming up. Like they have a deadline coming up in the beginning of December to get wreaths out. Wreaths. It's easy for you to say.
Then play it.
Oh, well. The Contagion Effect show can also be heard on Wreaths Across America Radio on Truckin' Tuesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern. You can find Wreaths Across America Radio on the iHeart app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Search the word Wreath.
If you could only see me, like
That's
I'm
what
like
it is.
literally,
It's
I'm
the
literally
eye
trying to lay.
contact thing.
I'm trying to lay down. It's throwing you all off, right?
Yes.
I'm like literally trying to lay my head down because my head feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds with the stupid neck thing.
That's what the cool part is. Even though I can't see you, I can see usually on here, and
yeah,
it's that.
It's throwing. You can see this ghost flashing on the screen, which I don't understand because the camera's completely off. But hey, whatever. I can't put the other thing on because then it shows your.
That'd be like me interviewing me with me in the background.
Exactly.
That's not weird.
Exactly. So before the neck issue, you know, paparazzi's been doing the bread, the sourdough bread and the desserts. You know, I know Steiner, everybody wanted me to try to send stuff with Eric, but he flew, so it didn't work out.
TSA would have stole it.
Yeah. We ordered a bread oven.
How'd that go?
It went well until we opened it up and saw that the stones that they have for it for cooking on, they all broke. So
all of them,
wow. All three, and each stone weighs like 75 to 100 pounds. Like they're no joke. Like they're solid. So I have a big head already. So so now we're working with the company to file a claim against FedEx and all this stuff. But
that's pretty heavy.
The outside of the box looked totally fine. Like it's wood crated box. Like you can't even tell. They have a tip sensor on it and everything. And nothing was registered, but we opened it up, destroyed.
Bam. Just like that.
Yep. Well, we need to get going.
We need to get to it.
So let's get a little Scotty.
Yeah.
You're
gonna the times and places they may change, but one thing stays the same. They tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it now. Probably should try to get this guest out to Eurostock because great addition.
So we'll get into it. Apparently it's going to be a 2-day. We're going to have a country one day and a rock style the next day.
All right,
I've heard.
Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome a former. Oh, I can't say former. It's not. I apologize.
You can't. You just don't mess up the brat thing. Don't mess up.
I'm gonna read it.
Keep it simple.
I'm gonna read it right now. Damn it.
Oh, look it.
I have it.
You got Jordan join.
Jordan, what is up? What up? Ladies and gentlemen, United States Army veteran, military, police, and I'm screwing it up again. This is why you should be here.
I am here.
You're here, yeah.
I like you doing the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jenn Ford. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the studio.
What's up, Jen? How are you this evening?
I'm good.
That's the worst.
Great.
Yeah, don't mind Eric. We'll get it. We'll get it right. We'll get it right. We appreciate you joining. I know Eric's been hounding you and probably bugging you, and you are extremely busy, but we appreciate you joining us. So welcome to the Contagion Effect.
Well, I'm glad to be here. You caught me with an excellent backdrop because I just happened to be in the studio taking pictures for my new haircut.
And woman in black surrounded by chains.
Yeah. Yeah, my photographer Jamie, she likes to do photos of me about every 6 months, and I've lost about 40 pounds since Americana Radio came out, and I've been working out and eating better, and so we got in here and did some cool new photos to show off my new hairdo.
There you go. Look at Steiner saying he has to come back and run the show, Eric.
Yeah,
here's Jamie. Jamie wants
Oh,
to say
hi.
hi.
Hi, Jamie.
Yes.
I'm
The
waving
best
and you can't even see
photographer
me.
in East Texas
There you
There you
go.
go. East
and
Texas.
world
I need-
famous.
I need to head out there then to get my picture
Yes, come see me.
I
Nice
love.
to meet
taken. Even though I
y'all.
won't even be on camera right now.
Bro, why are they all talking weird?
Look at Mark.
loving-
Mark's
Mark
over here
loves-
appreciating Jenn
Yes,
Ford.
absolutely.
I love Mark.
With them battle buddies in the house. What's up, John?
Look at you getting all sorts of props here.
Thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
very much, everybody.
There you go. Debuted right there. We
You
got your back.
debuted on We Got
We
Your
got
Six.
your 6 at 6.
Yes.
Great people.
Well,
An amazing
now you're
time.
on the Contagion Effect, which we appreciate, and we are looking forward to learning a little bit about you and your life and what you're doing. But I like to start just kind of learning where you grew up and your high school days, and then going into what made you decide to go into the Army.
Well, I grew up in rural East Texas, small town East Texas, out in the Piney Woods near about an hour from Shreveport and about an hour from Tyler and Longview, so northeast. And my dad was a Marine. I was born when he was serving at Camp Lejeune, and we've got a long history of veteran service in our family, but I'm the oldest, and I was the first female to serve. I have 2 brothers and a sister. My parents been married for 48 years.
Wow.
I know.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
every day I'm like,
Gosh.
are they going to make it through today?
Aw.
No, they love
Is
each other.
Your
They
dad
were high
getting that
school
Camp
sweethearts.
Lejeune? Is he getting that Camp Lejeune money?
You know, we both are working on that actually, because he's got a lot of autoimmune diseases and I have autoimmune issues as well. And
Because you grew up on the base, right?
my mama was drinking the water and I was there till I was about a year old. So who knows what's wrong with me?
Yeah, my dad was my dad was a Marine Corps veteran too, and he was there.
Be nice, Brian. That's not nice. You know that. She's
Oh,
military.
I
police,
didn't want
bro.
to be a Marine. I already knew that I was going to have to work way too hard. Now,
Yeah,
Work smarter, not harder.
she could still be a badass, but not work as hard.
and I don't really like crayons that much.
There it is. Appreciate it, Mark. I appreciate what you guys do.
She learned it at an early age, Brian.
Yeah, I
Learned it
learned
at
that
an
crayons
early
didn't taste good when I was 2, and I don't know. Y'all kept,
age.
they issue you a pack in your MREs. That's what I hear. So,
Brian
What's
would
up,
know.
Nana? What's up, Nana? How you
Yeah,
doing?
look at Marine diet is not my liking.
no.
Then Gary, Marine is the top.
Yeah.
Coming from Marines, right?
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of friends that are Marines and a lot of friends that are sailors, and you know, we all pick on each other, but I'm fortunate to have a lot of people around me right now that served and they get it. And so it's awesome that you guys have this podcast. I'm really good friends with Adam Bird from
Mhm.
the Heroes Media Group, and also Mark and Andrea. I'm very good friends with them too. And great to meet you guys as well. I wish that I'd had these kind of connections when I first got out of the service in 2009,
Right.
because I was lost. And
Yeah.
so to go back to like the history of my military service, I joined in 98, which, do the math, I'm an old
Yeah.
lady,
Mm.
but wanted to go in after 2 years of school and kind of just wanted to see the world, and thought that the military would give me that opportunity to have some independence and provide me with education and travel and all of the cool things, and get me out of just small town America. And was very fortunate to get in and go to Korea, and still kept singing in the Army. And my drill sergeant told me about the Army Soldier Show, so I ended up trying out a couple years after coming in, like in 2001, and got accepted to the Soldier Show and traveled for 8 months with them out of Fort Belvoir all over the U.S. And then
Nice.
September 11th, happened while we were on tour, and came back to Fort Bliss at the end of the TDY, and the Army post commander wanted me back in the Army band, so he put me in 62nd Army Band. Then I married my husband a few months after that, and was stop lost from getting out of the military because I was an MP. And so my sergeant major recommended that I re-enlist for Germany, and they did a direct assignment to the USERA band over there. And so I got to sing some more for 4 more years.
Nice.
yeah, it was the best time of my life, but eventually I had to come back to being an MP. And so I went back to Fort Sam as a provost sergeant, physical security sergeant at Brooke Army Medical Center. And the MP branch, of course, was trying to get me up to speed with all the classes. I was a staff sergeant at the time, so they sent me to everything, physical security. I was gone like 10 months out of the 12 months that we were stationed there. And we lost a child in between our two sons, and that started to cause some problems in our marriage. And so we got divorced when I was at Brooke Army Medical Center, and then I went on to Fort Carson, and a few months after that I got out. So I got out to take care of my kids, and PTSD had kind of starting to show up.
Right.
And I started realizing that I had some other issues that probably didn't help out the marriage as well. So
yeah.
Well, you learn a lot about yourself.
Sir?
I said you learn a lot about yourself when you're going through all these different things.
Yes. And the most important thing to me was always in being a mother. And I felt like that I needed to be back home with my family and be with my children. And that was, we kind of had some family emergencies going on with our oldest son. And he was like 5 or 6 at the time, and he was having a lot of problems at school. And so it just seemed like the right thing to do. And then the catalyst of everything else that happens when you transition out just started showing up like Pandora's box. And I battled with my mental health for 3 years while I was going to school and trying to navigate like the transition. And the one thing that I always felt good at was music. And so everybody was telling me no, that I needed to be responsible and then I needed to like have a real job. And I just was very unhappy. And even though I was getting a lot of support from the VA, I mean, because I was advocating for it, nobody was reaching out to me.
I was just gonna say, wow, they were helping you out, and you didn't have to go beat down.
No, she was chasing it down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
come on, guys, somebody help me.
I was not in a good place. I mean, there was a couple times where I was really close to making a decision I couldn't take back.
But at least you knew to go ask for the help. I mean, that's our biggest problem is people aren't going to ask for the help.
And let me jump on that real quick. Do you think that you had the foresight because your dad was in the military though? Or do you think, hey, was it a motherly intuition that you're like, hey, listen, I'm not good. I got to figure something out.
Well, yes, she still got these kids to take care of.
Yes, well, absolutely. I was more afraid that I was going to, the thing that kept me going the most was the fact that I was a mother. And my parents were great parents. I mean, all parents make mistakes, but I knew for a fact that they loved me and they protected me as best they could. And I knew that the best way to protect my kids was to take care of myself. And so I started getting therapy, trying different medications. Mostly, I think therapy has helped me and I go every 2 weeks. Like I'm on the phone with my counselor.
Still right now?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, y'all see me at my best. The audience sees me at my best, but the rest of the week is me doing maintenance.
Trying to figure it out.
Well, and
I gotta stay rested.
Yeah.
I have to take medicine. I take, anti-anxiety meds. I take all kinds of different medications. I'm at VA appointments all the time for different ailments like old back injury, neck injury, all of that stuff. When you turn 45 years old, you can't hide it anymore.
Hey,
so.
That's why 48. I'm off screen right now. I'm 48 and got a pinched nerve in my neck that is killing me. So
I'll be 49 pretty soon. So I feel
we get it.
And we didn't even serve. So I don't want to say I know I'm not saying I know what you're going through because again, Mike.
No, but when you get older, those things are you have to take care of them, but just to live. Yeah, and fortunately, my music, the physical stuff that I do when I'm on stage is only about 6 to 8 hours a week. And that's the hardest work that I do physically is when I'm on stage. The rest of the time I'm trying to take care of myself, do yoga, stretch, rest. I have to eat right. I have to sleep a certain number of hours. I'm like an old lady. I don't drink. I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah, you get it on
I
stage.
resemble that statement.
Some of your videos and amazing, man, amazing.
So Brian actually asked about your dad. Like, did you see him have PTSD while you were growing up?
You know what? I think so. Mental health wasn't really discussed when I was a kid because my grandfather committed suicide when I was like 7.
Oh,
and he had a lot of he was schizophrenic and manic depressive, and that was a very sensitive subject. But I was the oldest, so I knew that this stuff happened, and I went to the funeral, and my mom was very affected by it. But my dad was actually in a really terrible shipwreck in the late 70s. off the coast of Spain. And that wasn't discussed until like probably my adult years. Like he told me what happened, and a lot of his friends drowned. And so definitely I think he was dealing with it. But mental health in the late 70s and 80s, I mean, that was not something you talked about. It's not a visible scar or a visible ailment, you know, like a broken arm or amputated leg. And so people were too proud to talk about it, and even I was afraid to talk about it that first couple of years, because I was afraid I was going to get into a custody battle or lose, you know, get my kids taken away from me. I was able to take care of them, but I was so afraid to open up to anyone in my community to discuss it. So it was a very private thing, just with my parents and my therapist, and that was it. And I didn't have a relationship at the time. And so I really was isolated. I was on an island by myself, with me and the babies.
Figure it out.
Yeah, just and completely had compartmentalized the trauma that happened, because I'm an MST survivor. And the guy that my assailant was still stalking me all through my military career and even after when I got out. And so I was very afraid to even pursue music publicly, because outside of the military, I felt like I was unprotected. In the military, I had my unit and I had some separation, and nobody could just come to any show or whatever. But when I got back to Texas, I got my Texas swag back. And after a couple of years, I was like, please come to a show. Please show up.
I got you. Well,
because this is an open carry state now.
I like that.
Yeah.
Please
so
show
jealous.
up.
So jealous.
Yeah. But I mean, that you see the best of me right now. This is the best version of me. And I feel like that the more I talk about the journey, it's been almost 14 years now since I got out. And I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable talking about it. And I feel like that as I talk about it and other people talk to me about it, then it feels like it's losing its power over.
So with that being said, I'm going to cut you off. I had to jump in because that's exactly how this weekend felt for me at Hero Stock. My dad was in the Marines or
Navy. My dad was Marines.
Mike's dad was in the Marines. And my dad was in the Navy with the USS Cleveland. He committed suicide about 5 years ago now. I need to add a year onto that, Mike. About 5 years ago, he took his own life. And so it's our way to give back, right? And so the more we talked about it, we had some good discussions over the weekend. We always get to talk, 82 shows in, we get to talk to a lot of different scenarios. And so for you to be here, we love it. We appreciate you being on.
And opening up and sharing.
And we're not a normal podcast because we turn it over to you. If I'd stop talking, we could get some more stories from you, right? But you posted on your Facebook that you have a rock in your corner now, and you throw a lot onto Eric, which is your significant other. And so it's nice to have that, right? Like he knows what he signed up for, right?
Yeah. I mean, he definitely knows he signed up for a shit show. because not only does he have to deal with the
he gets to deal with all the gens.
Yeah. Well, we've got it narrowed down to about 3.
Hey, that's a perfect number. That's a good number.
Creative Jen. Yeah. It's Hungry Jen, which is more like Hangry Jen.
Yeah.
and then it's Mama Jen, where I'm a little, I'm a nurturer. I get as tough as I try to be, I do take a lot of things to heart. So if there's like any part of my life in personal relationships that I feel like is struggling, then I try to figure it out, because I want to take care of the people around me, including my band, my children, my parents, my brothers and sisters, anybody who's in my circle. If I feel like there's something out of order, I'm really trying to fix it. And so that will take a lot of my energy and my time, and I can get really wrapped up into that. So I've been really good about learning how to set boundaries in the last 3 or 4 years. I think COVID taught me who my friends were, and it taught me that it was okay to like say no to things, because when you're a new artist, I mean, I've been doing this forever, but I got signed at 40. So like this a whole different type of ball game when you're hustling with record labels and venues and stuff. And there was things I had to say no to that I knew weren't good for me, like venues that I knew weren't the right image, or even saying, no, we're not playing for $5. I've got like the best musicians in East Texas, I feel like, are playing for me. And there's a certain price point that I feel like is fair for this market that as a woman, I've already got to fight 10 times harder to get into some of these venues. It takes me sometimes 3 or 4 years to develop relationships. And so when I finally get in there, if I feel like it's not fair, then I just say, okay, fine, we won't play here. You won't be able to afford me the next time.
Yeah, never undervalue yourself.
Well, and I know you want to get to the comment. Mark Peterson's yelling, he's a pro wrestler. He got this. And,
yeah.
And so, but what I was alluding to was I wanted to show a clip. I'm not going to show the whole song, but it was your video that you'd reposted this, right? And it was about a video you'd made about the 80s. And so I feel like this is like the Jenn like coming out party type of thing. And then you see the woman in black, right? So I just want to play a little bit. I'm gonna play a little bit here. I hope that comes through.
Look she loves color.
Yeah. Well, I think that's that whole like the euphoria of everything, right?
Right.
I know we're talking over it. You can go check it out on her Facebook page. She has the video. I'm talking over you for a reason. We all know that. So I'm just saying, go check it out. The voice is amazing, right?
I mean, I think she's all right.
Yeah, she's all right.
Is it now? Are you good with watching yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I watched every video like 500 times. Like, I actually made this video because I have a degree in multimedia journalism, and so I know how to edit video and all that stuff. It's just hard. It's hard for me to videotape myself and do videos. So like, I had to use like stock video. I went hunting and used all these different apps, and then I did a bunch of stock video to create this whole MTV kind of throwback imagery to the song that felt very 80s to me, because it's got Joan Jett feelings, it's got Heart feelings, The Police, Sting, like
you said, Phil Collins, Journey, Kate Bush.
That
was the song is called "It Was You" by Jenn Ford official music video. It was released on February 14th, 2021. Well, re-released, I guess, right? But no, I appreciate you letting us play that, and go check it out, because it's just like what genre do you call yourself? Jenn Ford genre?
Okay, so the new album that came out, I think was my official declaration that I am not just country music. The country music opportunities that came to me were from an internship that I had with Texas Country Music Association in 2017. They were starting off their first award show, and I had been affiliated with several different award shows and different media outlets while I was in school at UT Tyler, going to school for multimedia journalism, and I needed an internship, and they approached me to help them put together the Texas Country Music Awards that first year, and I agreed as long as they let me be a co-host, because I already knew that I could get up in front of people and talk, and I had experience doing it, and I felt like that would be an awesome thing to have on my resume as I move forward, because I thought that musically I was just going to be like a radio personality, or maybe work for Spotify or something like that, because I felt like, well, my time's up. And instead they put me on stage at the music awards, and I got a record deal 2 weeks later. So my story changed.
Yeah, that's dope.
And it was with a country album, or a country label, the Texas Country Record Label. And I went for it. I'd had a heavy metal band before this, and I'd sang Motown and country and rock and roll and blues, all jazz, classical music all through my life. And so I was like, well, I can definitely sing country because I'm from Texas, and let's try this thing out. So that was in 2018. And even every country song I would put out, people would say, well, it's too rock and roll, or it's too whatever. It's not straight dancehall country. And I don't think I would ever be that purely I've got too much attitude and too much. I've been married 3 times. So, I don't have the sweetheart of the South going on over here. I'm more like the bar fight Barbie of the
Bar
music
fight
scene.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Love it.
Anyone who can go out and see Jenn Ford and the Wide-Eyed Devils need to get out there. I know you have some dates coming up. You got something actually tomorrow or Friday or Saturday?
Yeah. We're playing at Telegraph Park in Marshall, Texas. They're having their Boogie Woogie Fest all weekend, and we get to open up their 3rd Saturday music thing they do. It's a combination. There's going to be several artists out there, but we're headlining tomorrow night. And someone says, do you do a lot of your own stuff? Yes, I have. It's about half and half right now. I've got 25 songs out on Spotify since 2018, but Americana Radio is all covers. And that album took a bunch of songs from a bunch of different genres and then turned it into like a Western journey. Like you would, I don't know. I felt very Yellowstone at the moment. I felt very Clint Eastwood, Quentin Tarantino. Wanted to take you on a musical journey.
All I know is I want to go to this bar. I want to go see Jenn Ford at the Gringo's Ice House. That sounds like a cool place for me in Kingsburg, Texas, girl.
Come on now.
I like it.
Here goes Eric. Eric all of a sudden moved to the south.
I'm just saying, listen,
straight out of Cali to the south.
Anything that says Gringos in it, I'm down for that. I know what that word means. I mean, it's cool ass guy.
The cool thing about playing music in Texas is you can play every weekend at a different venue. There's so many venues, and Texas is huge. So like, I'm excited that we get to do some traveling. I just played at the Rattlesnake Ballroom 2 weeks ago, and they asked us to come back and open up for Ted Nugent.
What?
And I said, well, we're waiting on all the details, but they said, would you like to open for Ted Nugent on his 75th birthday? And I was like, oh
my gosh. Wow.
I don't know.
I have to think about that one.
Well, yes.
Get a hold of my people.
People. I'm the people. Me and Lonnie. So I have a new manager, a tour manager. Her name is Lonnie Cerny. She's a retired Navy chief. And we got to be friends a few months ago. She just retired like last month, but she came home on the transition program that now they have out of the military. And so she's been back for like 8 months, and we got to be buddies because she's a member of the VFW. She does all this stuff. And in the last 5 months, she's convinced me to join the VFW. So now I'm a lifetime member. And now we're doing something together with the Veteran Support Commission. And Veteran Support Commission is a local nonprofit that I've been affiliated with on and off for the last like 6 years. But we kind of had a little bit of not a falling out, but I just brought it up one time when they were doing a fundraiser that I didn't feel like that. I felt like they were missing the mark when it came to women veterans. Like that, I feel like that was also has always been kind of like a thing that just gets glazed over or glanced over. Specifically meaning like when I first got out and I was a single parent and I needed to go to the lady doctor or something. I couldn't get a babysitter, and I had to take my kids with me for my mammogram, which was,
that's comfortable.
What are you doing, Mom?
Yeah. Well, my 6-year-old was like, "Oh no, Mommy," as they're. So I feel like that, there's some areas that maybe most people would just not even consider. So Lonnie and I talking about this stuff and getting to be friends, and me just helping her get integrated into community, and her organizational skills are crazy. So she helps me out a lot too. And we decided to start partnering with the Veteran Support Commission with underneath one of their branches with a thing called the Soldier and Sailor Women's Fund. I'm a soldier, she's a sailor. And the Women's Fund, we're going to start raising money in January with a mom prom that anybody can come to. And hopefully we'll get a lot of women in our community excited about it, and they could just have a good time, and the money all goes to the fund. And then I'm doing a viewing of all the Americana Radio music videos in the Longview Arboretum in my town. And then we're going to do a concert afterwards, and it's going to be a ticketed event where you pay like $25 a ticket. And half of the money is going to go to the women veterans or to the Soldier and Sailor Women's Fund. So
when that comes up, can you tag us? Because we're going to buy 2 tickets that you can give away. All right?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we're also working with the Longview Lobo Choir because she was in the choir at Longview High School. And I'm very good friends with the director, and we're working with them to help them raise $200,000 to fill the plane with
got that
50
much.
students.
I ain't got that much.
We got a little bit on it.
I don't have $2, but
we're
hoping that we can get a lot of these people in the community and even statewide, because they were offered. They were invited after their performance at Carnegie Hall last year to come and perform. One of the only, like, out of 50 states, they were the one from Texas that was invited to go. So it's a huge honor to go. Yeah. So we're trying to help them do that. So I think it's really cool that I'm in a position where I can use my veteran status as a platform.
And us too, even though we don't have the veteran status, but using our platform as a platform for others.
We're battle buddies. I was proclamated this weekend. We are battle buddies. We're not.
You were knighted.
Well, whatever, isn't that English? But yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's any knights in the military, but the
Marines had a badass sword.
Well,
at least in their commercials.
Yeah, and they fought a lion,
a dragon. Hey, so I wanted to go back and talk about the female veteran piece, because I know that was one of the things as we started this show and we got into the veteran world. Eric and I kept talking, like, we have to get some women, because I think there's some great stories, and sometimes we don't think about some of the women. And where we struggled was women were a little more worried about sharing their stories on here. But then now we've just had an explosion. It's been awesome. Yeah. Because we've had so many on, and we can always use more, because I think the women have some, like, we had an Army, Amanda was in the Army, and she was an engineer, and I was asking her, because she was in Afghanistan, and I was like, so how is it being a female in Afghanistan, right? Because we know Sharia law, all those things, women, they're looked at a certain way. And she's like, actually, because I was an engineer and ranked higher than all the guys we worked with, she's like, they had to deal with us. We didn't have any rules, and they just had to deal with us. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
We'll get you a hold of Scott Friedenberg. He does the Record Up for Warriors out of Nebraska. And so he has a great organization. They were out there at Heroes Talk. Also, Peggy Olam, or sometimes we call her Taylor.
Sometimes
she does the vet guitars for vets. And so I know she's down.
Yeah, I need to find the chapter.
Yeah, I signed up for guitars for vets. I need a new guitar.
She can teach you.
Need another guitar.
Yeah. Well, and that's the cool thing, is you're going to get a lot of emails and support from us. From our supporters. I apologize, not from never mind. Whatever. Mike's not even.
I know what you mean.
Thank you.
Everybody's doing things in different places. There's so much to do, and it's good to be connected to all these different organizations. I think you should have Lonnie, my best friend, on, because
we would love to have Lonnie.
I'm interested in the Navy.
That's Lonnie.
That's Lonnie.
Me?
Yeah.
I apologize.
Lonnie. Yeah.
Lonnie,
and her husband
already
is,
sent.
yeah, she has a business. She just started, she wears me out. Like,
she wears you out.
She wears you out. Come on.
I hired whatever. I basically said, hey, I need you to organize my life, because I am exhausted, and I will cook food for you and come babysit your kid and be there. I didn't really have a female like battle buddy anymore. I didn't have anybody I could lean on, and that was at the same place as me ambition wise. And she's very ambitious. She was an intelligence officer, or an intelligence enlisted, whatever, in the Navy. So she's really good at information organization and reading people, and like when we go to a show, she'll see who's paying attention or who she needs to give a business card to. She figures out who's who wherever we're at. And she is not afraid to talk to people. And that's awesome to have because it allows me to just be creative instead of on high alert everywhere we go. And I feel like I'm so drained by the time we leave because I'm trying to talk to all of these people and figure out who they are. And she can go figure out who is the person that makes the decisions or whatever. Or she can be my voice for me because it helps to have a little bit of separation between you and the venue if there's a decision that needs to be made that they maybe don't like. Like,
well,
no, we're not playing for $5.
Well, and you trying to make those decisions while you're there, and you're trying to think about performing and getting your mind right, getting your voice right, and you don't have time for that. You need somebody else to do that.
I was just gonna say Jordan keeps her straight.
Yeah, because like I'm in charge of the performance once we get to the venue. So like all the setup and then making sure the guys have everything and making sure my guitar's tuned, making sure that I'm vocally warmed up, the set list is ready, all of that stuff. And so if there's a problem or if there's a person that comes in that needs to speak to me, I need to have a point man that can, number one, solve a problem before I have to make a decision and speak as if I'm speaking. And so Eric helps with that, but now she really helps with that, especially when Eric can't be there. So if one's out there, the other one's there, and they can kind of
keep you balanced.
Yes, and I can focus on the performance instead of the business end of things. Because by the time we get there, I need to be focused on what I'm going to do as an artist. Because to me, that is the most important part of my recovery is being on stage. When I am singing, I turn everything else off. So I completely try to disconnect from whatever is going on off stage and just be present and communicate with my musicians. I feel like it's a conversation that we're having with each other on stage, and also a message I'm trying to deliver to the audience. And so I don't need to hear all of the extra noise that comes with like just being at an unfamiliar place.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I have Eric there or Lonnie there, then I feel safe because I can have anxiety attacks. And if I see someone there that I trust, then I'm like, it's all good. He's nodding his head. Everything is good. There's a bar fight over there, but Eric's like, it's good. He's not like
he's throwing fools out. He's the wrestler in him. He's going
upside like it's bad.
I want to play one more little clip, and I'm trying to bring it up, but it's going to be a little it's going to be a 6-pack.
And Peggy, you're right. I read your comment, Peggy. You're right.
You in the zone.
On the Gulf Stream, in the south wind moon, the bridge is getting lower, the shrimp boats are coming home. The old man down in the corner, he slowly turns his head, takes a sip from this whiskey bottle, this is what he said.
You're going to have to go watch the rest of the video if you want to know what he said. But that is Jenn Ford and the Wide-Eyed Devils. Thanks for letting us share that. It's one of those things where, you can tell that it's just a good time, right? And you bring a certain, hey, Joe Allen, what's going on? Joe Allen, Christy Music, thanks for joining us. His interview is coming up in the end of October. But he was another gentleman that got to play at Hero Stock, and he's got this guitar riff thing going, and it's, just amazing, right? So, but getting back to what I was saying was, when you're in that zone and is it tunnel vision, or do you know what's going around, or are you just like solid focus on you?
I am really, I look at the audience, and especially if I see somebody like connecting with our music, then I try to connect back with them. Because to me, I think music is like the first language that we ever really learn it from birth, from internal. Like we hear our mothers sing to us.
Yeah.
They sing to us as babies. And so our perception of music is like ingrained. And so if somebody is zoned in on my voice and is listening to that message, then I'm right there paying attention to them as well.
Yeah.
But it's, my brain is firing off on so many different levels, but it's all about the performance and the music and that particular moment. I'm present in that moment. I'm not trying to think about like, well, I should have changed the oil in the car last week.
Right.
And I tell my guys that too, because like if anybody's got an attitude when they get on that stage, then they don't need to be there in my space, because that is my church. Music is my moment to where everything makes sense. And the rest of my life, anything could be going wrong. But as soon as I'm on stage, playing my guitar, singing, playing the tambourine, listening to the guys around me, that's all.
Why I specifically brought that one up, because of the tambourine. Because I'm everyone's going to agree with me. Live music is the best. There's nothing better than live music, right? The feeling, the thumping, the chest bumping, the just, you know, even if they don't sound good, it's still live music. I can get on it, right? So with that being said, what do your boys think of it? Like, do they know mom's like a rock star, like a kick-ass rock star?
They were in my belly when I was performing.
Yeah.
I was in the 62nd Army Band when I was pregnant with my oldest son, and I was singing and playing auxiliary percussion with my belly rested on the bass drum, like with my pregnant belly on the bass drum. And he came out, his first words, he's been a drummer his whole life. His first words were boom, boom, ka. He was walking around the house, boom, boom, ka. Boom, boom, I was like, what does he say? And he's played drums like a whole kit since he was a year old.
Wow.
And he plays guitar and he writes. He's a rapper and a songwriter. He is a producer, and he's 20 and he's still going through that weird time. He played football as well, but he's kind of in this, he's young and he's finding himself right now. But he's played drums for me on stage with zero practice. When we had a situation where we didn't have a drummer for a New Year's Eve show a couple years ago, and Eli was home for the weekend or whatever, and I was like, hey man, can you pull off these drums? And he was like, I think so. And we set up the drums.
You better figure that shit out.
Is there any talk of military service for him?
We've explored that, but I think he's got some other interests, and we're working. We're working on that kid. That is the most hard-headed kid on the planet, and he's also one of the most gifted kids on the planet. And we're working mainly on him learning how to love himself right now.
Well,
that's the thing.
I tell parents all the time, like especially when they have small kids, I said, hey, enjoy it when they're small. Those are actually the really easy days. Even the teenager. I've found the adult years, because now I have 4 kids. Everybody's 18 and older. I have a 29-year-old. Like, it's rough because you do everything you can and they're still gonna do things that go against. And you got to let them make their mistakes, but it sucks as an adult because they don't understand the consequences get bigger, everything gets worse. So I totally, everything you're saying, I am like dead on. Because
the biggest consequence of this child is he's extremely handsome.
Oh,
and
hey boy, hey.
The girls and the drama is not what I would have expected. Like there's so many times where I'm so glad that I didn't end up seeing any of these things happening that happened with these girls. I probably would have been in jail.
Well, we have a question for you. We can segue off of that. We have a question for you from Scott. What was your favorite memory of your military police service? Getting out.
I liked going to the range, man. I got to shoot everything, like Mark 19s, throwing grenades, all
that's so cool.
50 cal. Like I always felt really badass at the range, like shooting all of these different weapons.
Oh yeah.
I had really good friends in Korea as well. I'm still friends with a lot of them. I drank a lot when I was an MP. I probably became the best drinker on the planet.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What? We haven't heard that before.
Oh, you were lying. You're lying.
MPs drinking?
MPs
What?
drinking.
That doesn't happen.
Yes, but there's a lot of cool opportunities. I got to do a lot of cool things. I got to ride in a tank. I got to ride an airplane, or not airplane, helicopter a couple times. But the best opportunities and where I had the most fun were in the Army bands for sure. That was like the best job ever.
So that was actually like an MOS or your job?
I had special duty. It's a secondary identifier now. It happened 4 months after I got out, or I would have stayed in. But I got to play with like the most top-notch musicians in the military. I was in the very highest bands, like the USER band, of course, is AFRICOM now, and they go perform in Africa. And they just, all of these guys had like master's degrees and came in the Army after college. And so they were top notch, and the directors were top notch. And I think that is where I got real exposure to what it's like. And I hold myself to a high standard with the band that, with my band now, I've got very gifted players, and fortunate to be able to have that experience of seeing what a big production is like. And that's what I see myself doing. I want a super group of folks, and I'm going to do this until I have what I want on stage. It takes me forever.
Now, the band, did you find the band find you? Did you guys put together the band? How did that come together?
So the White Iron Devils is a rotating roster. The first member was Chris Dean in 2018. He was a family friend, close friend of mine. He played in another band called the Mansion Family. And I will give him the most credit for helping me find the sound and cultivate my ideas as we added in different members. We tried out a couple different drummers, and we settled on David Sweat played for me for a couple years. And then I added in Warren Worsham playing bass. And then I added in Danny Davis. He played keyboard for me, and that was a good mix because we had I always love the organ and keys. And then when COVID happened, right before COVID, we won the 2019 Country Music Showdown, Texas
nice.
Country Music Showdown, and we were supposed to go to Vegas to play at ACMs, and then COVID happened, and so it kind of got pushed aside. But that's when I recorded a second round of music. And then we got the opportunity about a year later to go play at NFR, and some of the members left. We had to let some go for different reasons, but we've been adding in new members, and the band I have now has pretty much been with me for my drummer's been with me for 2 years. He's fantastic, best attitude, just really sweet guy. Jerry Wayne Johnson is playing bass for me now. He's a Marine Corps retired crew chief, and so that works really well because we have similar team ethics and like leadership abilities, and I can be straightforward because I am very straightforward. I don't sugarcoat anything. I can be very nice, but when I'm direct, and sometimes that comes off a little bit intimidating to people when I'm giving out instructions, and I'm just trying to get it done. I don't like wasting time. I feel like everything should be done with a purpose, and Jerry gets it. And then I've got 2 younger guys on guitars right now. Matt Coates is like 29 years old, but he plays a lot like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Derek Trucks and traditional Texas blues style. And he played for me when he was in college, like when he was like 20, just for a few shows. And then now I have Shiloh McGraw playing co-lead, and also have Kirk Harper that comes in and we play shows together. But I've had several very, very good guitar players around me my entire career in East Texas. Rio Wallace, Matthew Jackson, he's the lead for Post Profit, which is a very well-known rock and roll group out of East Texas. They're touring right now with Nevermore and some other bands. But I've been really good about just creating hopefully a good relationship for a good reputation. I mean, for putting together a solid product and making people want to come play for me, because I want everyone to know that I mean business and that I'm doing this for real, that I want to be on the big stage.
This is my life. This
Yeah,
is my
and so
life.
this is a job, and I pay my guys well, like as much as I possibly can. And it's not always easy to get to the position where you can ask for that kind of money, but I'm just trying to make it worth it to pay for our bad habits, which are
There you
my
go.
habit, my bad habit. My only habit I have is I have to be on stage. That's my vice. If I'm not on stage, then I am not doing well.
Well, luckily you're getting paid for it
Yeah.
instead of having to pay for it.
Correct.
So that
Yes.
works out
And
well.
I get to eat out. Like I get to eat at really nice restaurants most of the time because I'm playing at them, so I don't have to pay for that.
Oh, nice.
Jen, what's your home venue so I can get onto your group page? I didn't know I wasn't accepted yet.
Oh, the back porch.
Billy Bob's?
The back porch.
Okay. I didn't know I was having a test.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed that I went from 23,000 followers this spring to like 79,000 followers.
Man, I tell you, I was looking up.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Putting in work.
Well, I don't know what I am deleting and blocking probably an average of 100 to 200 people a day because I feel like I fell into some kind of black hole of.
Oh,
you did have a lot of people that liked your post in the last couple of days that were from
other countries.
from a different country.
Hey, you know what? But I made $29 last week on Facebook.
There you go.
Balling.
The only time I delete anybody is if I see for sure that they are fishing for information. If they're in some kind of weird sex chat or something like that, I delete them. Or if
they started this year. Anybody
Yeah.
that started this year,
Yeah.
nah, you're out.
Yes. But that's a whole nother long job. Like I had to put Eric on my messages, along with my sound guy and Lonnie to go in there and just delete all of the weird pictures I was getting in my messenger. And finally I just turned my messenger off. So if you know how to get a hold of me, you know how to get a hold of me. But my Jenn Ford messenger is completely shut down. Too many eggplants. No, thank you.
Dudes are so dirty. Just dirty.
Somebody said, do you have hero stock in the future? Possibly. Come on, I'll do it. Whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be next year, the 13th and 14th of September. Again, like I said, they're going to do
in Nebraska.
No, I'm going to say it. We're going to host a 2-day forum. Thanks, Jason Steiner. A 2-day forum for veterans and first responders. And like I said, we just came off the weekend, and I have videos. I have so much content.
Eric's still trying to catch up in his brain.
It's literally was just for me. It was life changing, to be honest.
Were Mark and Andrea there?
Oh, Mark, Andrea, John, love them. The People's Patriot Project.
He's wearing their shirt, just the green because of our green screen. The green. So you can't see the green. It disappears.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's downstairs.
What, a wardrobe change? Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey, we're getting a question on your TikTok. Oh, every second counts. What's your real TikTok? Eric's accidentally hitting the button over there.
It's Jenn Ford TX, I think.
Jenn Ford TX. There you go, Brian.
I think that's what it is. It's the one that has at least 1,500 followers and a lot of videos.
Oh, wow.
Look at Taylor. I have my own collection of eggplants. Oh, Taylor.
I will give you a private discussion about that.
Well, and so you and Taylor have a lot in common because she was also a Marine Corps brat. She grew up with her dad in the Marine Corps.
She wasn't a Marine Corps brat. Remember, you guys got on me for saying that.
No, she was a Marine Corps brat. You said Army brat.
Yeah.
I was a Marine Corps brat.
And Taylor was a Marine
Corps brat too.
Yes. Yes.
So the only reason you can't see is because it's green, right?
Yes.
Push your week. And I think that I absolutely love it, what they do, but you can't. So We the People Patriot Project.
Yeah.
I think it's cool how the green screen's reacting with it. That's awesome.
It's pretty funny, actually.
I've worn a hat and there's a little leprechaun on it and it goes through. And so, it gets awesome.
If you see any accounts that don't have a check mark on it or don't have a bunch of videos of me on it, report them. Because all of my accounts are verified except for TikTok.
Oh, here we go. Taylor said you need to join her Spooky Bitches group.
Okay. Well, you can email me and send it to me.
Well, Eric will send you.
Eric will give you my phone number. Just text Eric. He'll give you my phone number.
There you go. We can compare notes.
I just wanted to
Eggplant
see-
notes.
No, I don't keep
Yeah.
them. I don't need to see all that. All right.
How funny is if you had like duplicates, if you had the same one that she was getting.
So apparently Lee's the #1 Jenn Ford stalker.
Oh, I love Lee Williams.
Hey, so I have to do this because we already started a little battle earlier before the show in the green room, and so
Boy.
you have you talked about your older son, the 20-year-old, and then you have a second son who is, I noticed going through your posts, a lot of posts about him in high school football, because high school football just started back up as well. And so what school's he at?
He's going to Rouse down in Leander, Texas, near Austin.
Okay.
His dad lives down there, and his stepmom, she teaches in Leander ISD. And he was playing up here. He played varsity for 3 years, but he wanted to spend some time with his dad and get a little bit more visibility. And we had some other things going on, and we just made the decision as a family to send him down there. And he's doing great. He's got a job. He's got his truck. He's a straight A kid, never been in trouble, never been a problem. And I think he just needed a change because his brother was such a good football player up here, but there was always some comparison going on. And also with all my music stuff, I think that was kind of like overshadowing. Jacob wanted to be independent. I think he
Right.
needed his own space to where he could not be Jenn Ford's son or Eli's little brother or whatever. And Jacob he's never given me any problems ever. And he's really thriving down there. Last season, I felt like he did a good job, and he was on the district all academic, and I think maybe the state all academic. And he was also
Nice.
on the state. He was recognized with several different football awards just as a junior.
Beautiful.
But down there, he's a defensive end. He's a defensive lineman. But down there, they put him as running back too. And he's developed a lot of speed and power on top of that. And he's already made 3 touchdowns this season. And
Nice.
it come like he's 6'4".
That's what I was gonna say. He
he's
does not look
big.
small.
Yeah.
No, and he
He's a
weighs
big-
like 240, and it's like a Mack truck coming at you. That last
Exactly.
video I put up last week when we went to the game, it was the very last play. The score was 34-31, and it was the 4th down and 9 yards to go, but the other team had the ball, and Jacob was out there playing defense, and their running back dropped the ball, and Jacob just scooped it up and ran like hauled ass. And I was standing there with like cowbells, just doing this, and I was like, ah! And then I started going like this and hitting my chest, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and my husband was going, "What are you doing? You're maniac!" And I was like,
Hey, you do you. When it's football, I believe you got to be who you are and do you.
yes, I
have-
love football.
high
Love
school football. High school football, I think, is the best.
Yeah.
I used to really love college football, but I feel like NIL's messing with it a little bit. I don't like the pros anymore because it's just everybody's too spoiled. High school
Yeah.
football, it's just fun
Purist.
because
It's purist.
it is. It's just, and unless you're in certain areas where you get to see these amazing teams. I mean, yes, we did win state, but I don't think we were an amazing team. We were amazing for what we did, but not an amazing team. I love high school football though.
I think high school football turns boys into men. I really do. I feel like it teaches them how to push, very similar to the military. It teaches you how to push past your physical limits that you thought you were able to do. It teaches you discipline and teamwork and selflessness and commitment and strategy, like all of these things. Because Jacob has always been a very sweet kid, but I always was afraid that people would try to take advantage of him when he was younger, because he was the peacemaker in the house. Like with our oldest son, he's a hard head. He's always going to push the limit, whatever. And Jacob would just try to make peace, and to see him unleash that internal warrior spirit that I think happens in football, because it reminds me of what it's like to be in the service. Like you have to work together and see the bigger picture. And sometimes that takes a lot of sacrifice. And he's just doing so good, and I couldn't be prouder of him, and seeing him like he's showboating a little bit this year, which he never really did. Like when he got down there close to the end zone, he was throwing his hands up in the air, and even last year, he didn't really want me to take pictures with him or anything. He's trying to be tough. Like, no, Mom, I'm too tough to take a
that
picture.
Ain't happening
like,
this year.
Take a picture with me. I'm just
that ain't happening this year. I see all sorts of pictures.
Yes,
Awesome.
and I'm happy for him.
So it's funny, Lee. We had this conversation before because you bring up Texas high school football as insane. I will say, in my trips to Texas, y'all do have better stadiums. And I said y'all.
He threw y'all in there.
Y'all do have better stadiums because you roll up to some of those Texas high schools and you can't tell if it's a college or a high school, which is crazy. And here, I mean, we have a couple schools maybe that are like that, but
no, they have jumbotrons at little tiny schools. It's a big deal.
Yeah, we don't have the same. I mean, listen.
We have a jumbotron here. We're a school of. I mean, when we got it was like 600. But it's been out for 3 years now. It's been out for 3 years. Nobody's fixed it. So
remember, Mikey, you and I helped get that too. By the way,
we did.
I will pump us up no matter what. but like for us, we talk about around here, Central Catholic and Folsom, St. Mary's. I mean, St. Mary's has rich.
But we have the number 1 and 2 schools in the nation in
south,
California.
Yeah, down south they have these stadiums. But dude, I mean, when you're spending multi-million dollars on these football stadiums in Texas, it's just next level, man.
But I'll tell you what happens is like there's nothing else going on a Friday night and Thursday, Friday, sometimes Saturdays, especially like Jacob's school. He has 4 high school campuses in Leander ISD, so they all share the major big stadium, and so they switch out on Thursdays and Fridays of who's playing there. It's a massive stadium, but their program is massive. Their band program is massive. Their choir program is massive. And so everybody in the whole community comes together for these events. And I don't compete on Fridays for an audience. Like musically, I usually stay away from booking big shows on Fridays. I'll book an acoustic show if Jacob doesn't have a game, like at a place that I know that people will go to that aren't football people, like a winery or something, but the bars, nobody's going to be in the bar. They're going to be at that football game hollering like lunatics like me, because it's a very cultural affair, and we take it very seriously in Texas.
See, that's where we're lucky.
Seriously than any sport.
That's where we're lucky, is where we are. It is that same way, because we're actually in the agricultural area of California, so it's a lot of smaller high schools, and we actually have homecoming this week. We're one of the few schools that still has a homecoming that has the parade and everything, and everybody in town comes out. I mean, we're a town of now almost 8,000, but when we moved here it was 4,000. Our high school is now up to 800 kids, and football is a big deal. All the windows right now are painted. When we were playing in state, all the windows were painted because we wanted the school from down south that was down in LA area that was coming up to play us to see all of our school pride, because they don't get to see that in their area. Because when you do go,
and I think that it's important for kids and for families in the community. I mean, it's a cultural, tribal, like rite of passage to either be on the field or be supporting with the band or the dance team or the spirit squad. I mean, the cool thing about Jacob's new team is they have their entire student section is full of maniac freshmen, sophomore, juniors, seniors that are painted. Their whole bodies are painted with the they're all dressed the same, and they're all it's amazing. Sorry,
what high school is it again?
It's Rouse. Yeah, they're very
go look
very
at
well.
No, I saw it. I just couldn't remember what it was, so I didn't really want to look.
Well, I definitely wanted to talk about that because I have major love for that. So I am, and this is our first year in 18 years of straight football, and we ran the youth program. So we just finished up 18 straight years of football. So this is our first year not having a kid playing. So we're going out and supporting them, but it's a little weird, like, to not have a kid out there.
Well, last year, Eric and I were on the football boosters, and we were getting up every Friday morning at 4:00 and making gravy and pancakes for the football breakfast. Not gravy for the pancakes, but gravy for the biscuits, and then pancakes and sausage and all. We would feed the whole team, and I kind of miss that, but at the same time, it's nice for us to, I mean, it sucks because we have to drive 4 hours down there to go see him now, but it turns into like a whole thing. We go stay in a hotel, we go out to eat, and it's like our deal. Like, we're going to watch football on Thursdays and Fridays.
Now, I'll tell you, if he goes to school and for some reason football doesn't work out, tell him to see if they have rugby, because rugby. So my son, my 23-year-old, he wasn't 6'4". He was only like 5'7", 5'8", but he was an all-league running back and linebacker. He went to UC Irvine and actually played rugby because they don't have a football team there, and absolutely fell in love. We fell in love with rugby. Like, it's even more of a brotherhood than football is.
Yeah.
And it's just a blast to watch, and just seeing the hits. And when your kid's only 5'7" and he's going against guys that are 6'4" and still folding them up, it's just a blast to watch. So
I think it's like super fun. Too. What's up, Eric?
They were complimenting him after that because he's like, man.
Yeah, he had a game where he was on the sideline and the guy was standing there, and you could see my son look up at him and go, dang. He's like, you're a lot taller close up. And he's like, yeah, but you hit like a fucking truck, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I think it's about will. It's about perseverance. I mean, it's just so much. I mean, there's so much anticipation. I always hate it in the court at the last quarter when they sit out the clock instead of just playing and taking a chance. And I'm like, here they are riding the clock. It makes me so mad when they do that.
That's why you want the close games, because then it just keeps it going.
Yeah. So what I really hate is when I see the parents getting up and leaving.
Oh,
because they want to beat the traffic. And I'm like, these kids are out here murdering themselves trying to make a touchdown. And y'all are just like, well, that sucks. It's 28-17. And I'm like, do you know what can happen? Do you know what can happen? That's me.
Hey,
anything can happen.
There's some crazy endings to games sometimes.
Oh,
so you never leave. I can't stand people leaving. And like, I always, especially after COVID, I had to go sit in a different place because I didn't want to sit by anybody else. So I wanted to say or do whatever I wanted to do. So we found our own place to go sit.
Yeah, at the bottom of the ramp that everyone has to walk by.
Well, and if anybody stops, I tell them move. Like, keep moving.
I hear you.
And I would yell at all the cameramen on the sideline, get out of my way.
So I have a police grade megaphone that my best friend found at a garage sale. It's like a riot level, like, ladies and gentlemen, move out of the way kind of. It's huge, like this big. It has a strap that you wear, and I used it all through the last 3 years. And then when I get down to this school, because it's a 5A in a city, I was able to get it in the first time, but then the second time they're like, oh, you can't have that. And I was like, what do you mean I can't have this?
Do you know who I am?
I'm a singer. I'm not supposed to be hollering. So usually I'd be like hollering through that thing the whole night, but now I can't. So I have to just go bananas with the cowbells. But
there you go.
I actually had to steal it back. They took it from me and put it at the gate the first time I tried to get it in, and then I went back and I stole it back. It's my megaphone. You
need to go get that train horn one that you can get, because we have some people that at our games that you hear that thing go off, you're like, damn.
And it's not like I'm being like talking through the whole game. It's only when Jacob makes a touchdown. I'm like, yes, that's it.
Yeah, let Jenn Ford do what she wants. Let her cheer for her son.
You know who I am.
Free speech.
Yeah,
I'm a big deal.
Speaking of Jenn Ford, everyone go check out JennFord.com. It has all of her links. Go buy Americana Radio. We got to share some of your videos. Thank you again. What's up, Travis? Thanks for joining us. I'll let Mike kind of go into the hard question because he's a better interviewer than I am.
The hardest question of the night.
Because I don't want to do that to her. You can bring that up.
Oh, thanks for the pressure.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the pressure. All right. So hardest question of the night, Jen. You and the husband chilling out, relaxing. What's the go-to drink? and don't feel like it has to be a certain thing. And we know we had the
I
conversation
already know
before,
what she's gonna say.
but what's the go-to drink?
Well, like I told you guys, I've been sober. I haven't really made a big deal about it for the last 3 months, but I like Diet Coke and sweet tea.
There's the sweet
Oh,
tea.
every time.
There's
But
the sweet
if I
tea.
have to drink something, like
You don't
if
have to.
I like a Screwball whiskey, and I'm very well known for drinking my weight in Fireball. But I think I'm
So let
cool
me
with
ask you
all
something
that.
about the Fireball. Is that a singer thing? Because Scotty Hastings had a couple this weekend. Is there something with the Fireball?
Does the
Does
cinnamon
something-
help
cinnamon or
the
something?
Good.
Not all it is. Okay, I didn't even ask.
Does it
Scotty.
help
I
the
just,
singing, the larynx and all that?
the larynx?
The
No,
larynx.
no, it doesn't. It's 160 calories a shot.
Holy
And
shit,
I've lost
really?
45 pounds since February. And I think a lot of that is because I slowed down on the drinking and now I've stopped altogether. And I'm like,
Well, hey,
Yeah.
write that out.
I'm going to. I feel great. Got a lot more energy. But I have drank enough Fireball for everyone on the planet. I promise.
Job, Lee.
And I love
Awesome.
the yellow glasses too.
Thank you. I was
Were
going to
tho-
wear them, but look, they got the light. That's a
You
little
get
bit too,
the ring
ring.
light glare.
too Austin
It
Powers
does look
for
kind of
me.
cool.
That looks kind of cool though.
So were you rocking those in the photo shoot?
Yes, I did a lot of really cool stuff. Really cool. I have cool new outfits. I've been shopping in thrift stores and on used, like finding cool vintagey clothes that I've been trying to introduce into my wardrobe. And so I put on some prints, like you see right here. I had on a
The colorful
snake
print.
skin jacket, and snake boots. Oh yeah, and Jamie says go follow her page, JME Studios.
As long as you
JME
follow ours,
Studios.
we'll follow yours.
She says
There's no
yeah.
underscore.
Nope, no underscore.
All right.
JME or just Jamie Good. JAMIE Good.
Whoa.
Yeah, spit it out,
GOODE.
Sparky.
Yes.
Jamie
Jamie J.
Good with an E.
Goody.
Yeah.
Jamie Goody.
GOODE. Yeah. She's been my
Is there an
photographer.
underscore at the end?
No.
Because I have Dr. Jamie Good.
No.
Yeah,
Jay
I got
Good. Oh, Jamie Good.
own automotive dealership. JME
No.
Studios right there.
JME
Yeah.
Studios. All right.
Hang on a second. Give me a second here. I'll
She's-
even do one better.
Eric's
here.
gonna put it up on
There
here.
you go. I even got you one better. Look at this.
That's it.
Bam.
That's it.
Bam, bam.
That's my
Like,
buddy. She does
There
great
you
photos.
check it out. If you're in Tyler, Texas.
She
Oh,
takes
I was on
photos of me
Instagram.
all the
That's awesome.
time. She'll come to my shows and she does artist branding. She does headshots for different businesses, fashion. She does boudoir shots, sexy shots that
Oh, I've been wanting some of those.
Mm.
Come see me.
No, you don't want me to.
Look at that.
We call that a doudoir.
the boudoir.
Wow.
hmm Y'all should do one together where he's like laying on your back, gives you a fart transplant, like on that
A
Zach
fart
Galifianakis show. Yeah, a fart transplant.
Transplant. Jerry, you mean on Seinfeld?
That's funny.
He's got the leg up.
You guys have too much fun over there, huh?
Yes, we do. Sorry if you didn't get that reference to that movie I made. Sorry.
It's
It's a
all
Zach
good.
Galifianakis Kristen Wiig movie.
I love his interviews between two ferns. Like those are some of the
Yes.
funniest things ever.
My favorite
then
ones
the-
with Brad Pitt. He spits
and-
the gum out.
I love the bloopers of him when he's telling he's saying the serious line, and then because you're like, dude, how does he say this with such a serious face? And then you actually get
So
to
great.
see it
Yeah.
where he's just losing his shit, and just it's
Yes.
funny. Those are great.
I love
Like-
I love Zach Galifianakis. I love Will Ferrell. Anything Will Ferrell, I
Ferrell's-
will lose my mind with. Like Step Brothers is probably my all-time favorite movie. Like I can watch that any day of the week.
Of course, Tonto knows what he's talking about. Of
Yeah.
course, Tonto knows.
Yeah. Damn it,
Janice,
Janice,
you
you
gave
gave
him
me a heart
parchment.
transplant.
So
You
Tonto's
get it.
one of our. Tonto's probably our top two viewers, all in one, first and second. He's
What's the name of
normally-
that movie, Tonto? I can't remember the name of it. He'll let us know.
Yeah, Tonto will know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get it. Step Brothers is my Prozac.
Yes. I can watch. I could probably recite the whole movie.
Top two. I knew he was going to catch us.
He's meaning you are the top two, Tonto.
Yeah, you're the top two.
I like Pineapple Express too. That's
Pineapple Express is good. See, I've never been good at memorizing. Like I know some of Step Brothers. I probably know more of Talladega Nights. And always love Masterminds.
Yep.
See, yep. Talladega Nights just didn't do it for me.
Oh, it's come on, 8 pounds, 6 ounce.
I'm all hyped up on Mountain Dew.
I come up to you like a spider monkey.
Come on, see,
I can get all the
right
clips.
there. It's hella funny.
Yeah,
I mean, none of these say they're
you ain't first, you last.
Exactly.
This is the stuff you're not going to get anywhere else. Whatever the podcast you're on,
boats and hoes.
Yes.
Like, hey, I didn't get this at the Contagion Effect show. Can we get some more streamlined questions?
Did y'all see when I was on a boat a couple weeks ago? We were down in Port Mansfield.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Did you sing boats and hoes?
Man, I thought about.
Oh my gosh!
You were about to go. It's the Catalina.
That would have been the clip, dude. That would have been.
I have never been on a fishing boat before. I've been on a cruise ship just long enough to watch my sister get married, and then I had to get right back off, so I didn't go anywhere. And then I've ridden in the Houston Ship Channel, like going from one side to the other, or a ferry, but never been out on a boat in the ocean. And we were down at Port Mansfield in South Texas, and they're a fishing town, and we played at this marina bar. After they saw us play down in South Padre Island, where we go every year, and they brought us there for a special party, and all these fishermen dudes came in, and they do commercial fishing and also like fishing trips for like rich people. They have the boats, and they took us all the way out into the Gulf, like where it was so blue, and it was just me and what was that guy's name? It was his girlfriend and me and Lonnie, and I was just like living my best life. The dolphins were everywhere, and I'm drinking water, and we're listening to 80s music like we're on Miami Vice or something, and it was so much fun.
I feel like a slice of butter on a big old pile of flapjacks.
Yes.
That is funny. Well, Jen, we so appreciate you finally getting you on here.
Yeah.
You are absolutely a riot, and the music is badass.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a lot of information from a lot of people now, so embrace it.
As if she already doesn't.
Well, yeah, I mean, in more interviews and stuff like that. We have a pretty good group of dudes, and shout out to Mark Peterson and Andrea and John. And appreciate you guys jumping on.
Mark and Andrea, and now Eric and you all know my phone number. So if anybody needs to get in touch with me, get in touch with those guys, because then you'll have the end. Because
I'll send you Taylor, who is Peggy. I'll send you Taylor's number, and
and she could probably get you set up with Guitars for Vets in Texas.
Yeah.
Get you a group in East Texas.
Yeah.
There you go.
Together.
Well, again, we very much appreciate you. Go listen. Go check out JennFord.com. It's really easy. Go rock out to her. Enjoy it. And we wish you the best. And hey, good luck to your son the rest of the season.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you very much.
I hope you get to be cheering all the way you want the rest of the season.
Man, I've loved watching it.
Yeah.
Embrace it, enjoy it, because when it's over, you're just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Not having this anymore.
Yeah.
So
they grow up fast.
They do. And then you get the grandbabies and you get to have fun with them.
I'm enjoying this empty nest right now. Me and Eric can eat whatever we want. We can stay up as late as we want. We can sleep in if we want to. Yes.
The 18-year-old still comes home, man. I'm trying to get him out. All the rest are out. I just need the 18-year-old gone.
Just remember, if you don't know if you have Nest, it could be Nest or the inside camera thing. Just remember that it may be on.
Yeah, well, they're always on.
I'm just the giggle. Yeah. It's the giggle.
Well, nobody's eating all my popsicles now.
I want to be Failure to Launch. I want to be Terry, the dad from Failure to Launch. Walking around naked, do whatever you want. So
yes. That's Eric. He's definitely walking around in his underwear all the time.
Comfortable. Come on. Well, Jen, thank you so much. We do appreciate your time. Keep rocking, doing your thing. And we will make sure we get everything shared when we launch the actual podcast episode. But this was all absolutely live, so it's on the internet now.
Oh.
It's
Thank you, Lee
out
Williams.
in the interwebs.
Subscribe to us. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening. Go finish your photo shoot.
I'm
You know, I
done. I'm
think
going
we're
to the house. I'm going to get me a Diet Coke and go to bed.
There
Get
you
that
go.
Diet Coke and go to bed. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jen.
All right.
Take
Bye-bye.
it easy. Bye. Woo!
Dun, dun, dun.
That was awesome.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, man, that was pretty entertaining.
It's kind of cool to follow up Hero Stock with another badass musical artist. You know, considering you got to hang out with some, you know, this last weekend. So
we could have done a recap. And, you know, I think our fellow podcasters have done a great job of embracing everyone that wants to get on and talk about it. You know, I do got to give a shout out to Donald Dunn. 7.5 hours of straight podcasting was pretty cool. Again, Mark Peter hung out with Mark and the People's Patriot Project, hung out with those guys. Every day is a Saturday podcast, and Tom Ettinger with
Every Second
Counts podcast and Sit Rep 22. You know, it's just fun to have a group that's in our comments, is the support, you know, and again, we are the battle buddies, and it's just fun. You know, every Thursday, I know we kind of drag through the week and we get to this day and we're like, this, but I appreciate it. And all the kind words that have been sent through all the messages, and it's, dude, it's just fun. Just fun stuff, dude.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Absolutely awesome.
Hey, Mike.
I'm still disappeared. So
Yeah. Hey, Mike.
I'm like laying sideways.
I got you.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark. I do appreciate it. We talked. So yeah.
From everything, his Facebook feed was flooded with Hero Stock.
It was. Hey, seriously, Tonta, I mean, if you can make it out, dude, it's something that was awesome.
Hey, somebody's got to be your first,
Yeah.
Scott, and we were happy to be that for you. Don't start messing with your neck now. It's contagious.
Oh God. Hey, contagious.
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 Eric.
Deuces.
Deuces, buddy.